So the lights are off on the HendrickCars.com pace car. Mason Diaz, Laney Bice will bring us through the iRacing start zone. Sit back and enjoy this one from Altamaha. 2 by 2 they go down through 1 and 2, and Bice, however, a great run off of turn 2. You don't often see that on the high side, but Mason Diaz, looking to be the stronger car off the corner, will come around and lead the opening lap here at Ace.
Diaz will get lap 1. Now Bice tries to fight back on Connor Hall, who has a good run on the bottom off of turn 2 to try to get up to second. Hall peeks to the inside. Look at Bice somehow wedges her car between Connor Hall and Landon Lewis, and now is trying to defend the spot on Millington in the 15.
Wilson trying to make up a spot. Here's the battle for second. Diaz trying to hang on, and Bice trying to get on by.
All the while, Connor Hall got up to the lead and is setting sail. Here's Bice now. The front row reciprocated with Bice to the bottom. Diaz up top, and Landon Lewis says the door's open. I'll walk right on through it as he tries to follow Bice up to a podium spot. That's a great call by the officials. That would get this race up to halfway. Problem, the points leader and race leader, Connor Hall, is off the pace in turn 4. For the second week in a row, Connor Hall has a problem early in the late model stock contest, and he's rolling slowly down the front stretch as the caution flies.
Bice, Diaz get us started back through the iRacing restart zone. Entirely 2 by 2. Oh, trouble. Jake Bowman around in front of the entire field. Somehow, it looks as if everybody is going to scatter and avoid the 71 car. Ian's Tire and Auto Machine. Let's see it once again. Again, look around. The stack up there. Oh, it looks like kind of Cade Brown, Connor Jones, Jake Bowman through the iRacing restart zone, and we're back underway in Altamaha. A reversal of what we saw on the opening lap is Laney Bice now in the preferred groove on the inside. Diaz hanging tough up top. Landon Lewis trying to look for a way by and try to stay in that second position. Diaz, though, going to try to shut the door as Lewis is there off of turn 2.
And they just
in trouble. Another car. Heavy damage for a couple of competitors. It's Landon Huffman, who is right in the thick of things in the middle of 1 and 2. And yet another incident at this end of the racetrack.
Race 5th in points, fresh off the 7th place effort at Orange County, and another turn 1 incident as he was peeking to the bottom, and I think Hudson Bulger got loose in front of him, up into the 71 of Parker Eatman, and the 7 of Austin Green had nowhere to go.
Working the iRacing restart zone, going green once again from Altamaha, although this time Landon Lewis, a great launch on the top side. He may have the race lead as they exit off of turn 2.
The top line has not been the preferred line so far tonight. Landon Lewis is trying to make that so. Lewis with a power drive off of turn 4 to take sole possession of the top spot, kicking Laney Bice back to second.
That is one strong race car. It is not often you can see drivers make those moves on the high side, but again, with the weather perhaps closing in, Landon Lewis not going to take any chances. Bice trying to give challenge. They're side by side behind him between Mason Diaz and Caden Quapple in that number 8 car. Laney Bice has chased back down Landon Lewis for the top spot.
How about the effort for Laney Bice? Since losing the lead on that restart to Landon Lewis on the outside, she has caught Lewis back down. Behind them, the battle for position with Connor Jones making his way up through and around Caden Quapple, and the caution is out. Turns 3 and 4. Hudson Bulger has gone around, and Jake Bowman has destroyed the front end of his car.
But Bowman's car, the last couple of trips by the front stretch here, did not sound right. But oh my goodness, look at the amount of damage, the bodywork that's ripped off. Down as they work into the iRacing restart zone, Landon Lewis will turn us loose once again as we get going from Ace. Mason Diaz, this time by, elected to go back to the top side, but is not going to be able to fend for the race lead off of turn 2. It's Lewis for now, but Bice giving chase, and really impressed by what we saw out of Laney Bice that last run. She was really able to chase down Landon Lewis.
Top 2 cars in the outside lane may look very similar. Mason Diaz in the 41, Connor Jones in the 44, now up into the top 5 as he tries to get that car ahead of Cade Brown, or maybe stay in front of Caden Quapple as they almost touch. They do touch off turn 4. Brown will get the spot. Brady is by. Here's Tyrell up to the door numbers on the left side of the race car on the front stretch. There's now a battle for 12th.
Lofton just going to have to settle right now to get back down in line. As trouble, turn 2, a couple of cars involved. It looks like it may be Donovan Strauss And what I think is Buddy Isles Jr. nestled right at the bottom of turn 2. And indeed, that is the Flying 11, a 2-car incident for some cars that were struggling. Possible, and Landon Lewis is going to try to get out of Dodge as quickly as possible through the iRacing restart zone, leading Laney Bice. Perhaps a nudge from her as they get off of turn number 2. It is still Diaz, Bice, Landon Lewis, your fixture at the front, although Kate Brown and Caden Quapple may join that party as well.
Diaz doing a good job there trying to get that car to fade down in the center of the corner, stop the momentum of the 03 from being able to move up and make that pass for second, but it's not going to work off turn 2. Almost clear was Bice, the middle of the back straightaway. Diaz charges the corner. They bounce off each other.
Connor Hall again spins. Strauss is in it. Bolger comes to a stop as they slide through. Only completed a couple of laps, but yet again, Connor Hall has a problem. Again, brings us back. Lewis brings us through once again. The iRacing restart zone as a good run down into 1 and 2 for Laney Bice. Has to settle for second or third at the moment for now. Bassett gets clear on the top side, but not before Connor Jones can try to fill that hole. But Lewis, yet again, clear, trying to chase that iRacing halfway lap leader award that would make it an official race.
Boy, that 29 car is just so solid on the bottom for these restarts. Now Diaz trying to do all he can to protect second. He's ahead of Bice, got the door open for Bice to keep the fender inside. Down the front stretch they come, almost coming together at the start-finish line, and Laney will keep that car to the bottom of Diaz, about to draw even here off of turn 2.
Diaz was in a great position to try to complete that pass off of turn number 4 last time, but just got a little bit free this time, perhaps a little bit of contact. You could see that car sliding off the corner as he was just so close to completing that pass on Laney Bice. Now Bice in the preferred lane. Diaz going to try to shut the door and does indeed get down right in front of Connor Jones as Bice able to hold on, but Jones and Diaz make a little bit of contact. Now his car looking as good now as it has all weekend long. Able to get by, and now Diaz gets tagged from Bassett. Bassett hard into the guardrail. Kate Brown, Minnie Tyrell, Chase Burrow, and Carson Lofton all having to come to a stop. Landon Lewis and Connor Jones bring us through the iRacing restart zone. 76 laps to go and 13 laps. It will be official, and Jones holding strong there on the outside. He'll have a nose in front of Landon Lewis as they go down into turn number 3.
And look at Lewis drive that thing down in the corner and push up wide off 4 to try to make sure he still got sole possession in the top spot, and he'll have that going to 1, but not by much as Jones fights back up top. Lewis to the lead. Bice now to the bottom for second.
Tough there for Connor Jones. You have about 1 lap, maybe 2 to make it work. Lewis is able to get on by, and now Laney Bice stuck on the bottom now with a chance to try and pass that 44 car. Don't forget about Ryan Millington either. Remember those two that are side by side right now. They had a little bit of a dust up at Wake County Speedway. Had a long discussion. May not have necessarily agreed on everything, but two hard-nosed racers that respect one another, as you can see, to get this car working. As you can see, Connor Hall, Landon S. Huffman, 7th position up for grabs. Hall trying to take charge as they are well behind Landon Huffman, who runs in 6th, about 5 seconds. Oh, they might look 3 wide, though.
Look at Brandon Pierce sliding that car, and around he goes. Oh, wow, just missed the tires that protect the end of the pit wall. That was almost the 3rd strike, and he was just about out of here for Connor Hall.
The run with as long of a run as we've had. He looks 3 wide. He's given plenty of space, but you can see him. He knows it. Look how low he goes. He knows as he's putting that left foot down to the floor, it is not going to turn like he wants it to. And my goodness, look at the 88 of Connor Hall. How does he miss the end of the pit wall here?
That left rear has to graze it. Oh, my goodness.
We're about to find out through the iRacing restart zone. Landon Lewis, Ryan Millington get us started. Andrew Grady had a little bit of trouble getting up to speed, but not Ryan Millington. Bice washes wide in 1 and 2. Lewis has the lead. Does Millington make his move now as Landon Lewis in 3 and 4 gets a little bit of a shot from Ryan Millington?
Millington's got about a car length plus some breathing room if he wants to try to size up Landon Lewis and do something unique while the battle for 3rd rages on behind him. Here's Millington all over the rear spoiler of Landon Lewis down the backstretch.
Again, not knowing when this race may end and not knowing if Landon Lewis is going to drive away. How much do you try to lean into that driver as we see a little bit of leaning going on behind him? Connor Jones, Laney Bice, Landon Huffman trying to make a move, but here comes Ryan Millington down to the bottom. He has a move and down into turn number 3, looking for the race lead here at Ace.
Lewis is keeping the door open just enough to give Millington some hope to try to get the nose to the inside, but to no avail just yet, as now Millington gets another good launch off turn 2, but he's not as close as he was a lap ago.
You can see a distinct difference. I think Lewis a little bit better at this end of the racetrack in 3 and 4. Meanwhile, Ryan Millington give him just a slight advantage in 1 and 2. You can see Millington entering a little bit lower, trying to get the drive off, but Lewis is not driving away at this part. And he'll come around this time from turn 4 and see the white flag in Altamaha. Kevin Harvick Incorporated looking to go back-to-back here at Ace Speedway in this number 29 car. Last fall it was Brent Cruz. This spring it is Landon Lewis. Landon Lewis wins the Folsom Fit Supply 275 at Ace.